Today, let's look at a very simplistic way to progress your handstand push-up. So if you've got crow to handstand, we're just going to progress this harder and harder all the way through to like a dead press or a 90-degree handstand push-up. Now, I've got other tutorials where we break it apart and go into lots of different components, and probably the best way to program it and the best way to train it would be to do it like that. But today I'm just going to use that one crow to handstand progression and then slowly build upon it, making it slowly harder until we get to that real deep position. And this actually works really well as a cool warm-up if you're working on one of those harder progressions already. So I'm using P-bars, but you could use the floor. I'm going to take the head and shoulders down, hips up, make it nice and easy to get to handstand, warm up the handstand in that position, come back down, go through that thing again where the hips come down, the shoulders come up. So get used to that seesaw type mechanism to help me out of the bottom into the handstand. And then on the next one, I'm just going to make it slightly deeper, slightly slower, and drop the hips and the legs off behind me a little bit more. So you see the lever arms now are getting longer. Head and shoulder comes forwards a bit more, hips and legs go backwards. Next, I'm going to do the same again, but I'm going to open out a little bit more towards the bent arm planche position. It's still going to be quite a high hip, froggy straddle position, but it is more like the bent arm planche than the crow. Now to save energy, I'm not doing this slow eccentric, but if you're getting towards your max, that'd be a really good way of increasing the time under tension by just coming down really slowly. Next, I'm not going to start so high up here and then go down and up into that position. I'm going to start more behind the hands. So I'm here, and then I'm going to come forwards into the bent arm planche position before going up. So into the bent arm planche, up, push out, hit the cap. So I need to turn the hat round for the next one. But you get the idea that I'm getting closer towards that 90-degree position before coming up. Okay, so now we've turned the hat round. That's going to allow me to scoop down a little bit more. I'm going to go a little bit further forwards towards that bent arm planche, bottom of the 90-degree handstand push-up. I'm going to still stay a little bit straddled and use a little bit of arch or banana to get me out. But the cap didn't get in the way that time, so that's good. Okay, now we're closer to the full movement, so I'm going to try with legs together, try and keep as much of a hollow body position as I can, see if I can get into that like perfect bottom position before coming back out. I'm probably going to need to arch a little bit, but let's see what happens. Bit of a pause, but the push was there, that's good. Show control at the top, come back out. Next, let's try the full movement. So starting the handstand, coming down to as close to that position as I just done as I can, pause for a second, and then come back up. No, pause for too long at the bottom, I couldn't get back out. So let's rest, try again, but make it a little bit more uglier. Oh, get up. Okay, it wasn't super clean, but I got up. So that's a real quick way of looking at that 90-degree handstand push-up training. Obviously, you need to have a bent arm planche. You need to have a deficit handstand push-up. You need to have a strong handstand push-up. You'll find programs for those and more tutorials on my app. Links are down in the description, or you can go to my website, www.paultwyman.com.au. Let me know if you have any questions down below. I'll speak to you on the next one.